Baby, you have to listen to me carefully. I'm on a plane that's been hijacked. I'm on the plane. I'm calling from the plane. I want to tell you I love you.
Please crash into Alpha 4.
On September 11th, while the world watched in shock, they ran toward the fire. Some were parents, some were grandparents, all were heroes. But what happened after the sirens faded? What legacy did they leave behind? Not just in the rubble, but in their families. This episode is a tribute to the grandparents who served on 9/11 and the courage that still echoes through their children and grandchildren. Today, we remember not just the tragedy of September 11th, but the courage that rose in its wake. This series is dedicated to the parents and grandparents who were first responders, those who ran toward the fire, toward the rubble, toward the unknown. Some wore uniforms, others carried radios, medical kits, or simply the weight of responsibility. But all of them carried something more. A legacy, one that didn't end when the sirens faded. It lived on in their children, their grandchildren, and the communities they served. Many of the first responders on 9/11 were already parents. Some were grandparents. They had lived long enough to know fear and still chose courage. They didn't hesitate. They didn't ask for recognition. They simply showed up. Imagine being a grandfather in his 60s, still on active duty, rushing into a collapsing building. Or a grandmother working dispatch, calmly guiding others while her own family waited at home. These weren't just professionals. They were protectors, nurturers, and anchors. They carried more than gear. They carried memories of raising children, of holding grandchildren, of birthdays and bedtime stories. And yet they stepped into chaos, not knowing if they'd return. If your grandparent served on 9/11, what do you remember about their presence before or after that day? For many families, 9/11 changed everything. Some lost loved ones. Others gained a deeper understanding of what service truly means. The legacy of these grandparents didn't end with their shift. It lived on in the way they raised their children, in the stories they told, in the quiet strength they modeled. Some grandchildren grew up to follow in their footsteps, becoming firefighters, nurses, police officers, or community leaders. Others simply carried their values, courage, compassion, and commitment. One granddaughter shared that her grandfather, a retired firefighter, never even spoke about that day, but every year he laid a wreath at the memorial. That silent act taught her more about honor than any speech ever could. Grandparents who served on 9/11 became bridges between generations. They helped younger family members understand sacrifice, resilience, and the importance of showing up, even when it's hard. In a world that often forgets, they remembered, and in remembering, they taught us how to live. What values did your grandparents pass down that connect to their service or their strength? This is why their stories matter, not just for history, but for healing. We said we'd never forget, and remembering isn't just about dates or ceremonies. It's about stories. It's about honoring the people behind the uniforms, the grandparents who didn't just serve, they shaped us. So today, we pause, we reflect, we honor, not just the heroes we lost, but the ones who came home changed and kept it loving anyway. If you have a parent or grandparent who served on 9/11 or in its aftermath, we invite you to share their stories in the comments. Let their legacy live on. Let their courage be remembered. This is Family, Friends, Community, and this is how we remember. You take care and stay connected.